Okay, I have to record this. I just seem to make the weirdest videos sometimes, but I'm gonna record this because this is just blowing my mind. I don't know how else to express myself. I'm trying to fix a strand of Christmas lights. I've got a bunch of them that are out, but this one, like you can see, this one is kind of old. Like all the wires are kind of ratty, but this one's a nice, like tight wine, and there's like a completely new set. So I think this might be a new one from last year, which is immensely frustrating. So I've got my voltage meter, right? This thing. Don't know if it's the right tool. It's one of the basic ones from like wherever, Lowe's or something like that. So I've got power, and I've got power down the line, okay? And then I kind of like I'm touching these light bulbs and I've done all sorts of stuff. Like I've split the wires, like I've pulled the wires apart to try and test like in between the light bulbs. Sorry for my poor video quality, but and I'm going through and then I'm realizing, oh, I can just kind of tap them to see which ones are hot. Okay? And this is not the only thing that I've done. Like I said, like I've gone through, let me see if I can set up my camera to do this real quick. So I've gone through and kind of like tried to untwist the wires like this to separate them, because there's always going to be a live wire in there. Like one of these wires is probably always going to be hot and going off. But when you put it kind of in between, where is it? You put it in between right there, you can kind of see whether it's hot or not, right? So you can test each wire independently. Now it seems that when I put my, like, see if I can get a hot one there anywhere. Okay, yeah, see? And then, so for some reason that one's going off, so that's hot. And then these ones aren't going off. And then when I touch it to that, and I'm not touching it with my hand, then I guess the electricity is kind of stronger. So I'm going through and testing each one of these bulbs, and I can get them kind of beeping consistently. And so then I go through, I can back up a little bit. So then I go through and it's just going off, right? Each bulb. It's kind of hard to videotape and do this at the same time. You kind of see like a lot of hot ones. And now I'm getting down here and it's just kind of hit or miss. I can get some of them to go off, some of them not to go off. And depending on how I touch this voltage meter, and then it gets pretty consistent. Like none of these are really going off. So you can see how quick that is compared to that. And then again, there's always a hot wire in that bundle. So I'm kind of going through and trying to find out, because this would make sense, right? This would make sense in terms of, I'm sorry I don't have a solution for you. It's more of just frustration, but like, it would make sense that like, that you could just kind of go through with one of these meters and find the good ones, the bad ones, etc. But again, like I get this consistency here, right? And then it just dies off. And let's see. As I go down there. And then remember when we started back at the wall, and I'll do a few more on the, there you go. And I do know very little about electricity in general. I know enough not to get hurt pretty much. But this stuff really baffles me. So what I'm looking for is kind of, I know that there are like some sort of chains being formed here, but you can see like some of them I touch and it's fine. And I don't know if it's because of how it's touching the carpet or anything like that. But then I get down here and it's hot again. And there just seems to be very little consistency when it comes to what is working and what's not. Again, I always touch and find a hot one in the middle there. So finding the light bulb that's out and replacing it is beyond me. If anyone has any advice for me, I am scouring YouTube videos and I can't really find anyone to explain this to me in a way that I understand. But and I have to give up soon and go spend some time with my kids, which is what Christmas is really all about. But yeah, again, this meter right here is what I'm using. It's probably a piece of crap. It's pretty cheap, but it seems to be working at times, and then at other times completely not working. And I cannot figure out which light bulb is which. Thanks, bye.